Hey there, Trailblazers fans. Welcome into Blazers Game Day. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt, here outside Section 330 inside Moda Center, getting you ready for round two of the Pelicans versus your Portland Trailblazers. A little bit of deja vu coming your way as the Blazers did play the Pelicans on Friday in their second game of the season, second home game of the season as well. And it was a very, very entertaining game as the Blazers went all the way down to the wire. It was a last-second shot attempt to tie the game by Anthony Simons that was blocked by Zion Williamson. Just a tough game for the Blazers. They definitely went through, played super, super hard, which you love to see, right? You like that. I'm not going to be upset about that. But overall, great game from the Blazers. Taking a look at the box score, Pelicans 105. Blazers 103. Really, really good game all the way around for Jeremy Grant. 34 points, a career high, 8 3-pointers, so he was absolutely on fire. Toumani Camara had just 5 points, but he did chip in 6 rebounds and 2 assists as well. There was a 10-point, 15-rebound outing for DeAndre Ayton, and then Anthony Simons, gosh, speaking's hard sometimes, 24.7 assists, and then rounding out that starting five, Denny Avdia just had 2 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, trying to find ways to impact the game despite the fact he was 1 of 9 from the floor, so hopefully that rectifies itself tonight, and he has a bounce-back game because the Blazers will need him. It'll be a very, very interesting night overall to see how the Blazers attack the Pelicans, and obviously it'll be interesting to see how the Pelicans attack the Blazers when you get a chance to play the same team 2 games in a row, just 1 day of rest in between. You know what worked, you know what didn't. The other team knows how to hopefully defend what worked and what didn't, so you're maybe going to see just a slightly different game tonight. But if the Blazers can come out of the gate shooting well, shooting hot like they did against the Pelicans on Friday, then they got another chance to get a win in this one. Looking at the Pelicans side, it was 3 players with 20 or more points. 21 points from Brandon Ingram, 20 points from C.J. McCollum, 24 points from Jordan Hawkins, 16 points from Zion Williamson in this one. He had a rough shooting night overall, 4 of 15 from the floor. But, again, I love the way the Blazers battled in that game. If that's going to be the Blazer basketball you get all year round, all year long, then you know what? It is what it is. There ain't nothing bad about that because you know what? Like I've said this all year long to you guys. I'm going to keep saying it for right now, especially with the team looking at the lottery and rebuilding and all that stuff. That is, losses happen. Losses absolutely happen. But if you play bad and lose, that's annoying. If you play good and lose, you can accept that one, and I can accept the way that the Blazers played on Friday night. You got to hope that they come out play like that again tonight. It's going to be another tall task, another tough task for the New Orleans Pelicans, who will be still without DeJounte Murray and Trey Murphy, who are both injured. DeJounte Murray getting surgery on his hand just a few days ago. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. But the Blazers got to find ways to attack. They got to find ways to get stops defensively. The Pelicans, they played so much better defensively against the Pelicans than they did against the Warriors, especially in transition, just getting out there, being ready, trying to stop the fast breaks from Nola. Nola tried to use its size. I mean, there's a couple times in this one where Brandon Ingram he had baseline shots where it was just impossible to defend. Whether it was Toumani or Jeremy on him, you played it so well, but he's so long and can get that ball so high when he shoots that he just put it in a spot where no one could touch it. Boom, makes a bucket. So you got to find ways to maybe get him a little bit uncomfortable. I wouldn't mind seeing more of Donovan Clingan in this one. I don't like the fact he only played 15 minutes. Get him on the floor. In fact, you look at the breakdown on the box score, Donovan Clingan played the fewest minutes of any Blazer in this game he played 34 seconds less than Chris Murray. But the thing was, I love the way he was playing defensively in this game. There was multiple times where Zion went to the rim and just tried to body a Clingan. There was the one, he runs baseline, lowers the shoulder like Noah Whittington did yesterday against Illinois. He lowered the shoulder on Clingan, and Clingan just put his hands up, stayed tall, didn't get a blocked shot, but altered the shot, right? And you like to see that from a rookie. He is taking nothing from Zion when Zion comes at him. He's not backing down because, Zion's a guy who's been in this league for a year, and, the aura of Zion Williamson, right, being put on a poster. He wasn't worried. Hands up, defense ready, and you love to see that from him. And then there was multiple other instances in this game where it was a hand in a face, a hand in a lane. I know that sounds weird, but I mean that he's so long that he can get stops in multiple different ways. It's not just a block shot. There was a situation where I think Jose Alvarado had the ball, goes in, gets a little crossover action on Klingon. Klingon bites. He bit on the crossover. He went to Jose's right when Jose crossed over and went left. But Donovan, even as he's falling to the left, puts his giant wings out there and blocks the lane where Jose was going to go. Jose stops, tries to pop a shot, and just has to pass out of it. So, again, it's just he's so big. So big. Brandon Ingram went up for a shot early in the game and didn't expect to just Klingon to just be there, hands up ready. And he had to stay in the air just a smidge longer than he wanted, and then ended up shooting the ball a few seconds later than he wanted. Ended up putting the ball short because, again, he didn't expect him to be in his way. So shout out to Donovan Klingon. I want to see him get on the floor as well. And if you want to get in on the conversation with me, hit me up on Twitter at Chris J. Burkhardt. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio 620 and get in on the chat there where Kirk says, can we play Rupert and the young guys more, please? Hey, there's only so many minutes to go around. I'm not upset with the situation of not playing Rupert yesterday on Friday, because Jabari Walker got in that game and got a good run, and he's still one of those young guys you want to get in there. Rupert looked really, really good in the preseason. He got a good run in game 1, and keep in mind, Walker didn't play a lot in game 1, played a lot in game 2, so he took Rupert's minutes. Rupert was taking his, and it makes sense those two are probably vying a lot for those extra minutes coming off the bench. I don't know if you necessarily need to go 10 or 11 deep just yet. But I totally get what you're saying there, Kirk, because you're not alone. A lot of people want to see Roops get out there, especially since the way this team's playing defensively. I thought that's where he was shining through the preseason, was just his ability to play good defense and try to lock people down. Try is the key word there. Sometimes it didn't work, sometimes it did, but he's definitely better on that end. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Nick Batum Jr. get out there some more. But, I mean, again, you're trying to see if you can get run out of Jabari Walker. Chris Murray, who I think has been an absolute breath of fresh air for the young guys. You can definitely see his development through the offseason and how he's trying to become a legit member of this rotation. And, I mean, he is right now, but he wants to be part of that as this team continues to build and move forward. So shout out to those young guys. But I'm with you. I want to see him just play a little bit more. I mean, yeah, Jeremy Grant was hot, but you got 40 minutes from Jeremy Grant, 36 from Ant, and 32 from DA. Wouldn't mind getting those numbers just down a little bit so you can get some of those young guys just a little extra run at certain times. Doesn't have to happen all the time. But specifically, Donovan Klingon, get him more than 15 minutes a night, which he's not even getting that right now. He's been very, very good in those minutes, and the best way for him to develop is to be on the floor, right? You can observe a lot by watching, and he's observing quite a bit. But you got to get him on the floor, get him in those actions, and quite frankly, you need him to make mistakes. Because that's how he's going to learn. So I want to see some more from him. Kirk chimes back in, says Grant does not need to play 40 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone needs to play 40 minutes a night. That's a lot of minutes, and it's going to come back and bite you pretty quick. You don't want him playing 40 minutes a night when you get to play the same team twice in 3 days, and then even though the NBA's tried to, get rid of these, they play, starting today, they play 5 games in the next 7 days, right? They play tonight. They go on the road tomorrow. So this is the first of a back-to-back. They play Wednesday. Then they play Friday, Saturday on a back-to-back as well. This team's going to get some – they're going to play. And we're going to see how these rotations change over the next few days, Kirk, especially with, again, how fatigue sets in, how all this stuff balances out. Skillard, Gamian Skillard, good name, by the way, on YouTube is digging my my use of Nick Batum Jr. Hey, I only use that because the easy connections, right? The both of them are from France, and then they look similar with that long, lengthy build. And then Rupert has said multiple times that he loves Nick Batum. So if you could learn anything from Nick Batum, I'd be fine with that, because that might have been the last time Portland had a small forward that was a legit 3-and-D. Pretty much stud. He was really good here in Portland, and the fact that he's still getting rotation minutes in the NBA on teams that are vying for playoff position, says all you need to know about Nick Batum. All right, we're going to take a break here on Blazers Game Day. When we come back, we're going to head down to the Coach's Corner, talk to Chauncey Billups, and hear what he has to say ahead of this game. A big night here tonight at Moda if you got a ticket. It is a celebration of Latin heritage, as it is Latin Heritage Month. Happy Hispanic and Latin Heritage Month. Going to be plenty of stuff going on tonight, including special halftime performances, multiple entertaining activities around the stadium, exclusive retail items, all for Latin Heritage Month. So come on down to Moda Center, enjoy, and have some fun. If you see me, come say hi. Taking a break now. When we come back, Coach's Corner right here on Rip City Radio 620. Perfect. All right, let's go back to YouTube, see what's going on. I hear you. Kirk's good with 32 minutes from the vets. I agree. What you got, Shaq? No. Good. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. It is now time For the coach's corner, we're waiting for Chauncey Billups at the podium. As soon as he steps up, you'll hear him. And until then, we'll just keep talking about these Portland Trailblazers. As Kirk says, he doesn't have a problem with the vets playing 32 minutes a night. Yeah, I could see that. 40 can be a lot for anybody, right? So it'd be definitely something you want to watch as the season goes along. 40 for anybody all night long, man. It's going to lead to injuries. Look at Shaden Sharp, right? Playing so many minutes last year, too. So, yeah, balance it out. Get the young guys in. I definitely want to see Klingon in more. I know I already said that, but I'm going to beat that one until the cows come home because he's good defensively, and he needs to be in those situations to learn. He needs to be in those situations to make mistakes, to know what he needs to do better. So definitely want to see him get more minutes moving forward. We'll see how that goes tonight against the Pelicans team that you might want to mix it up a little bit because whatever you did last time didn't work, even though the Blazers, I thought, played a hell of a game. I thought they played very, very good, especially considering how they opened the season against the Warriors. It was a great bounce back. Arshawn Hyken wrote, if there's such thing as a bounce back loss, that was it. That was it because they looked like a completely different team. That looked like a team that's young and developing and showing signs of their growth. And that's what you want, right? That's what you want. That's what I want. I want to see Scoot, and I want to see Klingon, and I want to see I want to see everyone, Jabari and Chris, Roops, who we talked about. I want to see these young guys show that they're getting better so we have something to lean on, right? Kirk says that he's biased. He thinks Rupert can be a starting forward. I think the Blazers like him. I think a lot of players like him, Kirk. I think the only thing with him, he's so young. He's just young. He's learning a lot in a quick amount of time here. And I think you can tell that it's clicking, and he's getting better, but he still needs to get those runs, similar to what I said with Klingon, right? Make mistakes and learn what he needs to do better. That's pretty simple. But I'm with you. I like him. I like him. He has the DNA and the build of a guy who can be a very, very good 3-and-D wing in this league. So I'd love to see him develop. Why not? I mean, I say this about Blazer fans all the time. You guys love your players. You love your rookies, right? He comes in, he plays a few minutes, and you're like, he's mine, and I want him to be the best. And I love that because you should, right? But Rupert has a lot of parts of his game to like, especially when you see how good I think he can be. It's just a matter of putting it all together, which can be rough for those young guys. If you guys have comments, Chris J. Burkhardt's how you can reach me on X or Twitter, whichever you like to call it. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio 620. We'll pop right up, and you can join the chat. That's how I keep saying, hey, Kirk said this, because he's in the chat like a OG. He's over there always in the chat, and I appreciate it. So here I am just filling time waiting for Chauncey. Running fashionably late, okay? 1:15. 1:15. Maybe he's thrown off by these early tips. If it's not 7 p.m. tip, you don't know what to do. Throws me off, I know that. I looked at the clock this morning. I'm like, oh, I got to get ready. I'm going to have to leave soon. I got to get to Moda. It's not a 7 o'clock tip, so it's kind of nice to get in here and get it done. But I do agree with you, Kirk. Roops is great. Scoot's getting better. I love the fact that he's showing he's coming around, especially after a bad preseason. He's looking better here in these first 2 games. Scoring the ball well, playing with ferocity. I like that. I think Chris Murray has been an absolute breath of fresh air with how he's progressed. It's huge how much better he looks than he did last year. I remember the jump Jabari made last year from the previous season. If he can continue to build on that, then he's going to get a lot of those rotation minutes too. So there's a lot of young guys here to like, and that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. What I find interesting is who continues to set themselves apart, right? Who gets those minutes? Like if you're balancing between Roops and Walker, who sets themselves apart in the long run? How do you build your roster and whatnot? All right, let's head down to the podium. Chauncey's talking right now.
Going to start the same way?
Yeah.
Coach, how's Robert late? Does he have a timeline for coming back and returning or something?
He's doing good. I'm not sure when he'll be back yet, though, but he's doing good. Starting to get back on the court just a little, so I don't really know when, but he's doing better.
Coach, the starting group has been pretty solid for you, even in the kind of down periods in the first game. How do you get Denny? He's so productive and everywhere else in the box score. Is it just a matter of just the ball go in that he needs to kind of see for him right now?
Yeah, I think, both, that and then also trying to, I got to run stuff for him and, get him downhill if I can, or get some shots for him. But more than anything, we're all still getting to know Denny, and vice versa. And so you can't speed those things up. You just got to kind of let it play out, let it happen. Obviously, he'll play a lot better, in probably every single game this year, in terms of how it was yesterday or the other day. But, yeah, I don't worry about him at all. He's a basketball player. He's going to impact the game in so many different ways out there, and he's also not concerned with it.
The kind of some of the rotational stuff. The first game he used Roops a lot, and then didn't really use Jabari that much. And then the second game he didn't play Roops at all, and Jabari kind of got more of those minutes. That stuff you're kind of still just playing around with and throwing different guys out there to see kind of which combinations work.
Yeah. I mean, I think that thing will be fluid all year, to be honest with you. You got so many. Lucky enough, I do have some depth, this year, and we look at the guys we have hurt. So, yeah, it'll be fluid all year, to be honest with you. I liked Roops has been really good. Him not playing the other day had nothing to do with me not being happy with him. He's been playing great. I know we needed some sizes and, some toughness and rebounding against this group, which is Bari, So, yeah, the rotation will be fluid all year. That's also something that will, I got to get used to it. I didn't get to play all the guys all of the preseason together, really. Finally got them all together that last game, and DA didn't play. You know what I mean? So it's that too will take some time.
You've only had 2 games worth of film, but have you liked what you've seen from the guys as far as you've added some wrinkles on the second side offensively and just little things here or there to develop and build on from last year? Have you liked what you've seen, or are you still kind of waiting for guys to fully get a hold of the feel for working with guys?
Yeah, I think both. I do like some of the talent, some of the versatility that we have. Naturally, I love that. But it's going to take us time to get to know how to play with each other. We're not as when we're not organized as much out there, we don't execute very well. When we're organized, we usually do a pretty good job. So I just think that alone, I'm putting pressure on our point guards to get our team organized out there. There should be no confusion on what we run in, and so those things just kind of happen over time. But yeah, like I do like what we have, and I like what we're able to kind of run, various parts of the game.
Do you feel like you're calling as much from the bench through the first 2 games as much as you were last year?
Yeah, I still have to a little bit. Yeah.
You had a lot to clean up from the first game. In
Yeah.
the second game, is there anything specific from that game? Because clearly, you guys played much better that you hope to see carry over and improve for today.
Well, by and large, the second game is who we are. We're a hard playing group that kind of shares the ball on offense and plays together on defense. That's who we are. That's our baseline. That's who we have to try to be every night. And I was proud of us because I thought we played good enough to win the game. And it sucked that we didn't. But we played good enough to win the game against a good team. The things that I would say, like I kind of just said to Danny, like we got to get ourselves organized better offensively. We run a play, we start a play, and 2 guys are they're not in their spots yet. We start to play. Well, those plays are probably not going to end very well if they don't start very well. So that's something that we got to be better at today and tomorrow and just going forward. We get a little antsy in those situations, turn the ball over. Obviously, he gave up a lot of points, turn the ball over. I think we could crash a little better, So, yeah, we got some areas of improvement, but I was very happy with how we played and how we fought.
Transition defense looked much better.
Much better.
I mean, you were getting after those 3 steps you were talking about. Guys put their head down and they were winning those 3 steps.
Yeah, it's something we really focused on. It's just getting back. If we're going to be the team that crashes, we also got to commit to getting back too. So we show a lot of improvement in game 2.
Chauncey, you mentioned the organizer. In your career, you were an organizer.
Yeah.
It seems like in the NBA today, there's not as many of those kind of point guards in the NBA. It's Mike Conley's, Tyus Jones, and Chris Paul to an extent. But why do you think that there are or do you think that there are just that's a limited skill set that kind of exists in the NBA?
Yeah, it's different. It's different. I mean, the position is just played very different. The point guard position is just kind of different now. But even though the skill sets are probably a little different, you always need somebody to organize your group, and that might come in the form of, not the point guard, but just selling everybody down out there to run it. New Orleans has one. He's not playing right now, but DeJounte is a great organizer. You can go around the league. I mean, tomorrow, De'Aaron, he organizes the group. Like, everybody has one. And even though the point guard, maybe skill set and responsibility is different in this era, that will never change. You have to have somebody that can organize your group if you want to succeed. It's just mandatory. Thank you.
All right, there was Coach Billups live at the press conference down there, and he was saying exactly some of the things we were saying about the lineup, and it wasn't anything against Rupert. It's just, you're going to mix between him and Jabari throughout the year and have some fun with it. So we'll talk about it more here, but one part about doing this show is we produce stuff, and we just do stuff live, as it happens. So we're going to take a quick break here. During that break, I'm going to get Samuel, my man who I met 30 seconds ago, hooked up on the mic, and we're going to talk Blazer basketball because it is Latin Heritage Night here at Moda. The doors are open early. We've got some stuff going on here up at the Pines. And so I was lucky enough to actually have fans come by, and we're going to take advantage of it. Take a quick break here, and then Samuel will join me coming up on Blazers Game Day here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you, and we're up here at Section 330 in the Pines. It is Latin Heritage Month, and the Blazers are celebrating it tonight. So a big night here at Moda Center. Plenty of people coming in to start the festivities early, and that's how I got joined by my next guest here, Samuel Lipke, right?
Yes, that's
Look
me.
at it, I got it right. I remembered. I'm so bad with names. I'm surprised I didn't forget it in the 3 seconds you told me. But that was your dad, right?
Yeah, that was my dad.
Your
yeah.
dad came over during the Chauncey Billups presser, and he's like, "Are you guys doing like interviews or whatnot?" And I'm like, "No, not players or anything." That's what I thought he was asking, right? And I'm like, "No, not any players or anything. But do you want to do an interview?" He's like, "No, but my son does." So he ran over and got you, and came over, said you're a big time Blazer fan. So. How long you been a Blazer fan, my
I've
man?
been a Blazers fan, I think, since 2018, so 4th grade.
Oh, okay. So you've been a Blazer fan for a while. That's
yeah.
awesome. And your dad was talking about it here. You got to share one of your favorite Blazer memories here in the building. What was that?
Well, my first Blazers memory was in December of 2018. It was Blazers versus Mavericks. It was a crazy game. Blazers won in overtime. But I think my best experience at a Blazers game was on my 14th birthday. 14th birthday. Damian Lillard scored 71 points. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
On your birthday, like that is like you couldn't ask for a better gift. And did I hear right? You had a broken arm at one point, and he signed your cast.
Yeah, in 7th grade. It was actually COVID, but my dad yelled out to the security guard, like, "Hey, my son has a broken arm. Can he get a signature?" And luckily, we were able to go onto the court for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I got to talk to Lillard. It was amazing.
Well, okay, so between that and this, what I've learned about your dad in like the 5 minutes that I've known him is that he's not shy, and it pays off.
Oh, yeah,
You know how many
absolutely.
people would be too afraid to yell at Dame or the security guard?
Oh, yeah.
And then they would have shriveled up, and he didn't, and he got you an autograph because of it, and he got you on radio. So you got to make sure you take care of Dad.
Yeah, my dad's pretty cool.
Okay, so let's talk about this team right now. I thought they didn't play very good in the home opener, right? They bounced back. Even though they lost, they played a heck of a game on Friday. Good game tonight. This is my Coors Cold Hard Facts section. So give me a cold hard fact about this team right now, Samuel.
I think that, cold hard fact, Scoot Henderson has a lot to prove, but he has good potential. I think Shaedon Sharpe, he's shown us that he can be a very good player. You need to work on getting healthy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to see what Simons can do. I'm hoping that he can assume the role of a leader of the Blazers and bring us to a better spot, in the Western Conference. And yeah.
What about the Blazers rookie? What have you liked from Donovan Clingan through a handful of games?
I like Clingan. He's a big guy. I watched him in the summer league. He was really commanding on defense. His rebounding, his blocks, it was reminiscent a little bit of Wembanyama. And I think, the scoring, at least in the summer league, it was a little lackluster, but I think that over time as he gets more experience, he'll start to become more comfortable with the scoring, everything, along with the defense. He could become a great player, I think.
I like that. I like that take. This. Are you sure he hasn't done radio before, Dad? Because he's got a guru for this. Now, are you a big college basketball guy? You pay attention to that?
I don't really watch college. I think there are too many teams.
Too
That's
many
why
teams?
I like the Blazers.
You're not going to watch like Duke just to watch Cooper Flag just to see if the Blazers capture the flag and get him, know what's coming?
I've seen some highlights on Instagram of him. He is incredible.
He's
I saw
pretty
him
good.
against Team USA. That was amazing. I mean, he has a lot of potential. Maybe even the Blazers get him.
There you go.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. So Cooper Flag, he's going into college. He's a young guy, 18, 19 years old, freshman. You're right around that same age. I mean, could you imagine suiting up and playing against Team USA in a scrimmage right now?
That would be terrifying. That would be so scary.
Like you said that you're a water polo athlete,
Yeah, I
all
play
right,
water
at
polo.
Lincoln High School, which is absolutely awesome. Like put it in that perspective. Like, hey, Samuel, we need you to come run some scrimmages against the Olympic water polo team.
I mean, Olympic water. When my coach hops into the pool, I get really scared. I mean, it's scary. I couldn't imagine being, Cooper Flag, but he really stepped up. He was confident. I think that confidence is the most important thing when
Absolutely.
going up against experience.
Water polo, man. What led you to water polo? It's such a I never played it, but I've seen it played. It's such a unique sport.
Well, over my lifetime, I've become very interested in basketball. It was an integral part of my elementary school and middle school days on the playground. But I started noticing, I'm not that tall. My basketball skills are
That's
okay.
my life. That's my
but
life
my
too.
feet and legs hurt every day I play basketball. So my sister, she did swim team. So my mom said, Samuel, you should do swim team. I was like, fine. But it was miserable. Worst thing I've ever agreed to do. And the only way out of swim team was to do Lincoln High School water polo. So I suited up in my swim team, in my swim trunks, hopped in the pool for water polo last year as a freshman, or right before the season started, and I loved it. And it's honestly really similar to basketball. It looks completely different. It's very much slower, but the skills, the offense, the defense, it's very similar.
So you hopped in the pool just sight unseen. You're like, I want a sport. This is it. Boom.
I mean, basically, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the shooting, the scoring, it's a very important part, just like scoring in basketball.
So you
everything.
get that from your dad. You see something you want, and there's no hesitation. You dive right in.
Yeah, I mean,
Pun intended.
I was gonna try out for basketball, but I think my love for water polo and my epiphany of knowing, like, I'm not gonna be able to do well in basketball at Lincoln. I might make JV too, but that's not, that's not what I want. I want to be good at a sport.
Well, there at Lincoln, I've called a couple of their games over the years. It was just a few. They had like 3 7-footers on the high school team.
Their boys head coach, Coach Roberts, she was my PE teacher last year. Her twin sons played for her. One of them, I think, was 6'11" or something. They were enormous, and I watched them last year. They had some incredible talent. This one kid, I mean, he's older than me. His name is Tanner.
Okay.
Incredible basketball player, and I could never imagine myself going up there. That's why I really started to pursue water polo.
That's water polo. Once the buoyancy kicks in, I guess it doesn't matter how tall you are, as long as you can swim and get the ball.
Everyone's the same height. It's from your neck to the top of your head.
I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I'm so glad you stopped by. Talk about why you're here, though. This is actually kind of cool because obviously it's Latin American Hispanic Heritage Month. They're doing a big event, and your dad was telling me it's actually something through the school to come here, learn about it, and partake in the event.
Well, yeah. My Spanish teacher, Profe Todd, he does this program called Experiencias, where we have to every semester go to at least one Latin event or a Spanish relating event. And it wasn't on his. I mean, he has an extensive list of events. This wasn't on the list for some reason, but I was like, I'm a big Blazers fan, and I'm a big, I'm interested in Spanish culture, or Latin culture, sorry. So why don't I just do both? So I asked him, and he was like, absolutely, you can go.
That's
so I'm
awesome.
going to do a little write-up, maybe a short essay about it. And I'm happy to be here, get to learn some Latin culture and watch some Blazers.
Well, I am of Pacific Island heritage.
Oh, nice.
Right, and so you better make your way back come Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Oh,
Okay.
I definitely will.
Samuel Lipke, man, thank you so much for coming in and joining me. Before you go, just give me one final take, man. I don't care what it is. If you a Blazer story, your favorite Blazer, why you love this team, just the floor is yours. Talk about the Blazers for a sec.
The Blazers have been a very important part of my life ever since I was about 8 or 9 years old. And I think that I understand Damian Lillard left, but wow, he is one of my favorite basketball players. And in addition, C.J. McCollum, who is here tonight, today, hopefully, is also he was my first favorite Blazer. I think,
I love him.
watching Dame hit the threes inspired me, in the gym at school to shoot half-court shots and have fun with my friends. And if it weren't for the Blazers, I don't think I would have loved basketball nearly as much.
That's absolutely awesome, man. Well, Dad he's an on-air producer here, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it. Hey, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Hey, if you're ever around and I'm here, you're welcome back, all right?
Oh, absolutely. I hope to see you again.
All right, that was Samuel Lipke and the YouTube chats. There's a couple of them. People are saying hi. Go, Sam. They're loving you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for your keys to the game. I'm going to tell you everything I think needs to happen for your Trailblazers to grab a victory tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. All going down right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Go Blazers.
Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. It is now time for my keys to the game. Big shout out though to Samuel Lipke. That was awesome. That is why I tell you guys, if you ever get into the arena and you want to come say hi, because you never know what might happen. You might jump on radio and get to be interviewed and talk about your career as a water polo star, okay? That was fun, so big shout out to him and his pops for stopping by. But it is now time for my keys to the game as the Blazers look to bounce back and get a victory over the Pelicans. The Pelicans team that they played very, very well against on Friday. I think in this one, I think you saw what happened on Friday, and that was just come out hot. The Blazers came out shooting well. Jeremy Grant was on fire from deep. I mean, I don't think you can expect him to hit a career high again tonight, but you can expect him to hopefully get some open shots, the Blazers to move the ball around, and the team to have some fun and get out there, get in space, and take advantage of their size, especially once they put Donovan Clingan in there. I mean, you saw what Scoot Henderson was able to do on Friday, and he can have a similar type game because the Pelicans just don't have any big defensive guys, right? There's no big defensive center clogging the paint that's going to make it hard. So attack the rim, make the guys work, take advantage of that size advantage that you have, man. Absolutely. That's what they need to do, number one. Number two, I want to see the team take care of the ball. Just pretty simple, right? The assist numbers last time, 26 assists, but they had 19 turnovers, man. And the turnovers they're going to doom you, especially against a team like the Pelicans, who's going to find a way to get out in space, get Zion running. You got athletes like Herb Jones, all this. Just you can't give the ball away for free, man. You got to take control of it. The Pelicans had just 14 turnovers in that one, so there's a 5 turnover difference. And that ends up playing a big part in a game that was decided by 2 points, right? Take care of the ball, come out early, and again, continue to work on that three-point shot. It needs to get better. Yes, Jeremy Grant had a heck of a night overall, but the team as a whole just shot 35% from deep. And in this league, you got to find ways to get that shot falling, and you got to get those advantage of those open shots. There was plenty of times where Grant had an open shot or Tamani had a clean look, Ant had a clean look, and the shot just didn't fall. I understand missing shots, of course, it's going to happen. There's no player in the history of this game who, shot 1,000% while taking the minimum amount of shots to qualify, right? So you're going to miss shots, but man, there was some clean open shots that I think at this level you would expect an NBA player to hit, and I would hope to see that tonight. Now, those are my keys to the game. Play similar to the game you played on Friday because, boy, howdy, was that a fun one. It was super fun. I enjoyed every second of that. Scoot had a good night, a good bounce-back night. And, again, the preseason he looked awful. I thought in these 2 regular season games he's actually looked pretty good. He's actually looked pretty good. In fact, let's try to listen to him real quick. We got a few seconds here. Hear him post-game. Fingers crossed that my audio actually works.
You always focus more on defense, and tonight you have 3 steals from the first half. Does that also help on your performance on the offense side as well?
I think for me, it's just try to get my teammates going type of thing. I play defense. Anytime they try to ice me out, I play defense. I play defense with pride because that's what defense is. It's a pride thing. But like I said, just try to do anything that gets my team rolling.
Just Scoot in general, how did you feel about the game tonight, particularly in contrast to the opener?
I feel like we kind of gave it up a little bit. We had them. We had them in the first half. But, man, I think we gave it up. It wasn't nothing down the stretch where we couldn't fix, and that's the reason why we lost. But it was more like little things that was happening during the game, like offensive rebound, 50-50 balls that happened in the game that were big possessions, and those things matter at the end of a game like that. So I think we got to play each possession like it's our last from the start to the end.
You seemed a lot more comfortable tonight than maybe you were the other night. What went into that?
I think it's just I think I'm able to play. I think I can hoop. That's all it is. Basketball, and that's how I came into the game with confidence like I do every game. Yeah.
What do you guys maybe need to do to get the one on Sunday?
I think, like I said, every possession counts. and that's not just scoring the ball. It's not getting the stop. That's talking. That's communicating on both ends. Communicating while Zion is trying to get a screen and you're trying to pinch and squeeze so the other guy can get through. I think it was little things in the game like that to where on Sunday we'll fix. Can't let nobody walk in our trap and take over. So we'll be back.
You had a play in the first half where you dove for a loose ball and then threw it behind your head.
That was a dime, though. They shouldn't have called that foul. Like, I don't know. That was a good call, though. But, hey.
Yeah, can you just speak more on, like, was that just instincts to throw it behind your head, or you just what happened in that play?
Like, when I dove on it, I seen Chris, like, from the right, so I said, Magic Johnson. So that's kind of what went through my head, the Magic Johnson clip when he did that. So.
And then that play and another play you had, you can really hear, like, the crowd get behind that type of defense. Do you hear that when you're out there?
Oh, yeah, man. Yes, sir. Rip City, turn me up, man. I love that. I love that energy.
There you hear from Scoot, and yeah, man, that play was pretty phenomenal because he totally did the little right behind the back, got it to Chris. They ended up calling the foul though, which was unfortunate because it was awesome that he was able to get out there and get that pass off. Like, what the heck, man? Who does that? Who does that? That was incredible. And then again, it said the fans turned him up, man. They got him excited. Rip City did their job. So if they can get going again tonight, then hey, maybe he'll get going and have another solid game. You love to see it from Scoot because the Blazers need that from him. They need him to continue to play well and play into a position where, you know what, maybe he comes off the bench and gets back into the starting lineup, right, and proves that, hey, I deserve to get these minutes. I deserve to be a starter. I deserve everything because you know what? I'm earning it. And I know that there's so many eyes on him and people are getting concerned. And as I've said, I'm not worried, but I'm cautious with him. I did not like what I saw in the preseason. But in the 2 regular season games, I thought he looked much better than he did in the preseason. The whole team looked bad in the season opener on Wednesday, so you can throw that one away for anything you didn't like, quite honestly. But in the game on Wednesday, everything looked controlled. I thought there was good effort defensively. Offensively, he was going to the basket with strength and looked pretty good, honestly. His borderline, it looked like one of his best games as a pro, just in control, right? The passing game was there. I mean, that pass he just talked about, Magic Johnson right behind the back when he's just getting clobbered. I think it was Jose Alvarado on top of him. Everything about him, I think it's slowly starting to click. One thing I do think about him is I think he's a guy that kind of feeds on the moment, right? When the energy of the moment is big, he's big. And that's why he said, when Rip City gets turned up, he gets turned up. And I think you need that. So if you're here tonight, get going. Get on his back. Be a supporter of his. Let him go absolutely crazy and have some fun with it. And if you are coming, get ready for a pretty fun night here as the Blazers celebrate Hispanic and Latin Heritage Month. There's going to be special halftime performances, multiple entertainment venues that you can go hit up on the concourse. I see plenty of them next to me up here at the Pines right now, and exclusive retail items as well all around Moda Center to celebrate Latin American and Hispanic Heritage Month. All right, that's going to do it for Blazers Game Day, though. Coming up next is a Blazers pregame show on the Blazers Audio Network, hosted by the boss man, Chad Dewing. Tip-off at 3 o'clock here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. And when it's all said and done, come right back here for the 5th quarter. Hopefully, we're breaking down a Trailblazers victory.